Do you know how many guitar riffs are in Thunderstruck? A lot. We played just a few seconds of the song and there are already 2 guitar riffs. The first one is the intro. It's just a Charleston and the guitar, and he's playing this melody on the 2nd string using the B arpeggio and the E minor arpeggio. So it's open string, 4th, and it starts on the upbeat, by the way. And then it's 4th and open string, and then 7th. So it's B, D sharp, F sharp, which are the notes of the B arpeggio. And then we move the pattern half a tone up and we play 5th and 8th fret, which are E and G. So B, E, G is the E minor arpeggio. Everything is picked, has got this very strong attack on every single note. The second riff is this melody built again on the 2nd string using the open string and some other notes that belong to the B Mixolydian mode. This whole melody line is going through most of the songs, and I believe in the recording it's actually a 3rd guitar. This seems to me like one of the few examples where there is actually an overdub in one of their songs. Usually it's just a 2 guitar band, at least so it seems to me. Up to here is just this one guitar playing the melody and the drums with the hi-hat, and now it's adding some toms just to have that thunder. And here we got the 3rd riff, which is basically Malcolm Young playing this beautiful power chord, B power chord. It's very rhythmical, quite fast. It's gonna hurt your pulse eventually. It's basically a 1-bar riff that is repeating, and he's gonna play this also for quite a while. And it's quite surprising. They're gonna start singing, and this whole section of the song is basically built upon this one chord. The tricky part about this riff is not just the fast rhythm, but is also the palm muting. So if you want to play it right, you will have to kind of stop the strings a bit. It's not... Another thing that I want to point out before we move on is the sound of Malcolm Young guitar. Now, while Angus' guitar is quite heavy on the distortion, because obviously he's playing lead parts and needs to bite a bit more. On the other end, Malcolm's guitar is a bit less heavy on the distortion. And there's just a little bit of a bite, but it's not too much. Instead of... And here is the other riff played by Angus Young, while Malcolm is carrying on that beautiful B. Angus instead is playing a different riff on the same register, playing different chords. Now, what was happening so far is that while Malcolm was playing on the lower register of the guitar and Angus was playing high pitch, you know, that melody line, obviously the two guitars were not clashing, and that wasn't a surprise. What is surprising is that here, while they play basically in the same register, they are both in the section of the fretboard, they in fact are not clashing at all. And probably the reason is because of the two different functions of these two riffs. Malcolm's is just carry on playing that B power chord, while Angus is going straight to the power chord B, A, E. Okay, so yeah, I went to play the melody, that riff there, because Angus was playing these power chords. Now, B, just, you know, it's part of the arrangement. As you can see, every section has got its own little guitar parts, and there is a lot of space and a lot of reasons why they're using these guitar parts. Now, here it's basically Angus is playing the power chords, and it's keeping it for 4 bars. You know, it's not playing. No, there is a lot of space. He's playing the chord, he's letting it ring for 4 bars. Only at the end the rhythm becomes a bit more, where he's basically playing every second bar, and then on every beat until eventually we go into the chorus. So there is a lot of space. Of course, you couldn't play that line that is in the recording, if I remember correctly, and I was playing it. So this is another riff. Okay, this is basically the pre-chorus, and it's another riff using the B, A, E power chords. And again, it's always the same, you know, it's very precise in the way that it's been arranged. Everybody is there together. This is the great things about this band. They're not just, you know, bashing things. Everything is arranged to the T. So here it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. It's very catchy, and this will take us now to this. Yeah, them ladies were too kind. Cupid, Thunderstruck, Okay, before we go into the solo, let's go back a little bit. We have got obviously the chorus now. Again, it's a different version of this BAE. It's variation of the same things, really. Obviously, it is a bit more catchy than the other choruses because it's the of the other riffs, because it's the chorus. So it's B, A, D, E. The reason why these riffs are so powerful is because there is a lot of syncopation inside of all of this. You know, it's not just no, there are chords on the beat, chords on the upbeat, and this is creating a lot of movement in the music. You know, some chords will start on the beat, some on the other upbeat, and this helps make that surprise factor. I hope you are counting the riffs, because I completely lost track of it. It's basically Angus. There is this section before the guitar solo where he stays again on this B power chords. The guitar solo is another riff altogether. We're going to this E, B, A, E. So again, you know, there's this element of surprise given by the syncopations. And obviously Angus is going on the B blues scale and is just, you know, going for it. And again, after the chorus, there are two more riffs. One is played by Malcolm, which is na 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 na. It's basically B and A. But what's cool is all these syncopations, this space, they're not playing everywhere. And then before it gets on B, space. Space. Syncopation. Very, very nice. And on the other end, Angus is going a bit higher. And he's playing in the space that Malcolm is giving him. You see how much respect there is for each individual musician, for each individual part. They're not playing on top of each other. They're giving each other space. And basically Angus is on the B pentatonic. Which is a typical guitar riff, but yeah, it's just perfect for the spot. And yet another riff coming out of Thunderstruck, which is basically it's B B, E. B, E with this bass thing. And we're playing the E with this kind of power chord. So these are the riffs that I found. There are quite a few. Please let me know if you managed to count them, leaving a comment, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check the related videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.